No.
Yeah.
Am I still lagging?
No, I can hear you now, but you would like no, there's no audio, there's no video, it's just not doing anything.
Okay. Bong bong ba dong ba dong. Dong dong da dong ga dong. Bum bum ba dum ba dum. I'm I'm your favorite reference, baby. The better that I'm inspired. You know that one?
I'm glad I don't.
Dude, come on.
I think I'm kind of glad that I don't.
You don't know 360 by Charlie XCX? You know that's gonna be our pregame
this
song
guy.
for today. Well, actually, no. We're gonna play Von Dutch by Charlie XCX as our opening song today.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, get fired up, Philip White.
No, let's stop. Huh?
I'm just living that life. I get money, you get mad because the bank's shut, dude.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I do.
Well, then you're just wrong. I don't know what to tell you.
Let's see, I'm just gonna do a little bit of review here. Yeah, all these Thanksgiving days, games.
Yeah, should put to the story or something.
What'd you say?
Like they put into the story or
Oh, I probably
whatever.
should link it on the story.
Yeah.
It's so obvious.
It's okay to just admit that you're jealous of me. You're obsessed and just confess it 'cause it's obvious. I'm your number one. 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 Your number one. Your number one. I'm just living that life. That's cold classic, but still.
I get money, you get mad because the bank shut. Yeah, I know your little secret. Put your hands up. Yo, hello? Why does it say we're not live?
I don't know, man. Why does it say that?
I can't find our live stream on YouTube. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's up here. It's up here. Number one, you're number one. I'm just living that life on Dutch Cold Classic and the E-Pop. I get money, you get mad because the bank shut. Yeah, I know your little secret. Put your hands up. Wow, that was perfect timing.
I'm your number one. That is. I'm your.
It's 10:29. 10:29 here. Von Dutch Cold Classic in the eardrums. I get
classic.
money, you get mad because the bank shut.
Oh. Na 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 na.
Hey, hey, hey. Hello.
Goodbye.
All right.
Well,
You ready to
Well.
roll, Philip White?
I mean, that's the real question. That's really a question you should be asked.
Oh, I'm ready to roll. It's 10:30.
Yeah, I can roll right now.
Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. NFL Week 13 pregame show. Can you believe it? It's December already. December 1st. The Thanksgiving games happened. We're going to talk about the Thanksgiving games, all of the games for today, and present to you our picks of the week. If you're just dying to see them, They're on our Instagram. You can follow us or send us an email at any of these usernames, platforms. Right here, we've got primetimewithtafandphil@gmail.com, at primetimewithtafandphil on Instagram, and primetimewithtafsmith and Philip White on YouTube. And in addition to that, if you're looking for a central location to find all of our good stuff that we got going on, check out the Discord. If you're in Twitch, just type in !Discord and you will get an invite. And if you're on YouTube, or if you just don't feel like sending a message that says !Discord and Twitch, just click on our channel and there will be a link to it right in there. Philip White, good morning. How are you feeling?
Good morning. Dude, you know what I'm excited for? I'm excited for doing the show, and then after the show, I'm gonna be watching the games and heating up some of that Thanksgiving leftovers. 'Cause you know those are still in everybody's refrigerators. If you still got Thanksgiving leftovers, if you don't have them, then you didn't grab enough.
That's true. Turkey sandwiches galore, baby. I'm having a turkey sandwich after this, and some mashed potatoes.
Dude, I'm getting some turkey, some potatoes, and then my grandma makes these beans and rice. Put a little olive oil, throw it in the microwave, nuke that, boom.
Oh, beans and rice. Is this like a red beans and rice thing? What is this?
This is like a little like, it's like orange rice. You know what I mean? Got some
Orange
orange
rice.
rice, some little beans, and then put some what's it called? Shoot, green fruit, green little thing.
Green
And
fruit.
it's either like an olive or a jalapeno. I don't know. Green something. It's a green thing. It's the green thing. Dark green thing. Probably like an olive or a jalapeno.
So is
One
it
of the
like
two.
it's like a savory, spicy thing?
No, it's just good rice, man. Just rice and beans. It just tastes good.
Sick.
It's not really savory. It's just good rice.
Oh, dude,
It's quality rice.
Have you ever had a thing called Hoppin' John before?
No.
Oh
No,
man, that is a classic Cajun dish that my grandfather would always make. I'm making it after the show today. I already got it all prepped and stuff.
Hoppin' John.
Yeah. It sounds kind of similar to what you were just saying. This one has collard greens in it, but what you do is this, okay? You you make some bacon and you break it all up, and then you leave the bacon fat in the pan, and then you throw the collard greens in there, saute those up a little bit. While you're doing that, you're making some rice. And I need to look at the recipe because I haven't made it in a while. But there's also well, before you get the rice in the mix, the rice is cooking while you're doing all this. And
I would hope so.
yeah, and you saute some green bell peppers as well, and you also have some black-eyed peas. It's just a nice like little one-pan thing. It's basically collard greens, little bits of crushed up bacon. It is fantastical. You throw a whole lot of thyme in there, like ground up thyme and oregano and whatever you're feeling like throwing in there. It's great. I'm very excited to eat it with my Thanksgiving leftovers.
Dude, I don't know if the black eyed peas would like being in a dish, dude. I think they'd like to live.
I think they would like it. I think
That's how they die.
the black
There are
eyed
more
peas,
black-eyed
the black eyed peas farmers are probably so thankful that the black eyed peas, the group, exists. It totally boosted their brand.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even, well, to be fair, I thought black eyed peas was just like their name. I didn't know it was a food.
Oh no, it's a food and it is great stuff, man. I love me some black eyed peas with the rice.
I used to have a toothbrush that would play their music as I brushed my teeth. One of them as a kid. You have like the toothbrushes that make noise as you brush your teeth, so you're inclined to
The
brush
tooth
your teeth for the
tunes.
whole 2 minutes. Yeah, you get like a good 3 minutes in there because you get the whole song.
Mm-hmm. Were the speakers on them good?
No, it lasts like a month maybe.
I remember I always wanted one of those, but my parents would never get them for me.
It would have been a waste. It wouldn't have lasted very long, but they should have. I don't know. Well, what song would you have gotten?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know what the selection was. I never even got that far. But I would go for like a little bit of DMX. X going
You ain't gotta like it 'cause the hood don't love it.
it. Yeah, X go and give it to you
X
on the Tooth Tunes toothbrush.
Just start brushing the teeth. Knock, knock, Homer in the door, see?
All right, let's get into these Thanksgiving games here.
Oh yeah, starting with the biggest blunder of time management I've seen in history.
Oh my God, man, those poor Bears. Like,
That's them all celebrating.
Can you
'Cause
give
he's
me
gone now.
a little rundown of this game? Because I was eating Thanksgiving dinner as the major blunders were happening in this one.
So the Bears, well, first of all, Lions should have been blowing them out. Bears made a big play at the goal line right before the half to stop Jahmyr Gibbs from scoring. Then the Lions just kind of struggled in the second half to pick up third downs and like move the ball and get into scoring range. I think the Lions missed a field goal up 10. The Bears get a touchdown to get within 3. Then they get the ball back. This is maybe, I'm not joking, this is the worst use of time management I've ever seen in my life. With like 40, I think what happens is it's like second down. Caleb Williams takes a sack, and then he takes another sack that basically puts them like just out of field goal range. So his first back-to-back sacks, and then on third down, the clock is like starting. The clock's running at about 42 seconds. The clock gets all the way down to like 3 seconds left. They burn nearly 40 whole seconds, and instead of like trying to throw a quick out route when they finally snap the ball, Caleb just throws it deep, and it's just incomplete, and the Bears lost. Like they could have kicked a field goal into overtime, and it was it was so disgusting to look at. It was so bad. It was terrible.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like it in my life.
That is atrocious. I hate when wait on third and fourth down they threw it deep. They let the clock. I remember they let the clock fall to about 18 seconds or something. Oh yeah, and then it was like didn't he complete a pass on third down and they couldn't get the play off on fourth? I remember I saw some clip.
So what happened here is they had on second down, Caleb takes a sack, I believe, and then like the clock is running at like 38 seconds. Like they have a full like almost 40 seconds to get this snap off. And then finally, they get lined up with about 15 seconds left, I think. It was like around there. And then they just take forever to snap the ball, and then they just throw it deep. They just throw it deep, and it's incomplete, and the game ends. Like, they didn't try to run a quick out. Like, that was so bad. It was so bad. And, oh my gosh. I mean, that's insane. I mean, how do you not get the snap off? Like, you have to, like, and by the way, they had a timeout. They had a timeout during all of this. They had a timeout to use, and like I don't understand how like at 15 seconds you don't see, oh crap, we're not going to get the snap off. I don't know how you don't call timeout there. Like what are you doing not calling timeout?
Yeah, I don't get that at all. Eberflus must have literally forgotten they had that timeout. And
no, apparently he knew because in the press conference he what was
his reasoning?
There, like explains his play. I think it was. I didn't see the press conference, but I know for a fact he was in the press conference discussing why he thought he backed up his decision. And then the next day on Friday, he's literally 2 hours before he's fired, he's giving an online conference where he's like, yeah, I'm just getting us prepared next week. And I'm like, no, you're not. You shouldn't be there next week. You shouldn't be. And then 2 hours later, they fire him. Like, it was so bad. I have never seen a more that was so terrible. That was bad all around.
Yeah, that is atrocious. Super Bears, 6th straight loss.
Let me see who their interim head coach is going to be. I believe it is Thomas Brown, the new OC. Yeah, it's going to be Thomas Brown. So that's the funny part too, is that their offensive coordinator, who wasn't OC before, goes to be the new OC.
That's the guy that was brought in for Waldron, right?
Yeah, he got promoted, I think, he got promoted within the organization to take over for Waldron. So he went from not even a coordinator to now he's the coordinator to now he's the interim head coach. And now people are saying that he could have a shot at the head coaching job if he does well the second half of the year, that they might just hire him for next year. which is kind of crazy. That upward mobility in the last few weeks has been wild for
real.
Thomas Brown.
Over the course of a month, he went from whatever position he had, like quarterbacks coach or something, to that.
Yeah,
Man.
that's
Good luck, Mr. Brown.
it's the first time too the Bears have ever fired a coach midseason. In their
Really?
over
That's the first
100
time
year
ever they've done that? That's kind of
Over
wild.
100-year history, the Bears have never fired a head coach midseason until this year.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's kind of wild. But I mean, if you're Detroit, this was not a great game, I think, especially in the second half. Like, not being able to put points up in the second half was a huge problem. They struggled to move the ball consistently. They also lost one of their top linebackers, Malcolm Rodriguez, who's been playing solid football. He's been doing well, partnered with Jack Campbell. It's a fun little linebacker duo, but I don't know, man. Detroit today, they showed a little bit of cracks today. Just a tiny bit. Just a teeny tiny bit. But with the way the Vikings and the Packers are they're right there. I don't know. Detroit's got to lock in if they want to close out the NFC North because they have the toughest right now.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I mean, what are their upcoming games?
They get Green Bay next week, so that's a big one.
Oh, that'll be a fun one.
Why
Lions,
they got a
Green
lock
Bay.
in, man.
I believe in them. I mean, you goof up a teensy tiny bit, it's okay. Yeah, they'll be.
But I mean, they're banged up. They've been constantly losing guys. They lost Aiden Hutchinson early, right? They don't have Rodriguez. I mean, if you drop one to a divisional opponent, all of a sudden, especially with how close the other teams are, all they have to do is drop one. That's like, I still think Detroit's very good. Don't get me wrong. I think they're the best team in the league. But when you don't play well in the second half against a team that, frankly, sucks,
True. I was expecting the Lions to, have one of their classic 52-6 victories in this one, and they almost lost it. But
yeah.
I don't know. I think Dan Campbell is on the same page as you, and he's not going to allow something like this to happen again. That dude typically doesn't let his foot off the gas. They're going to come back poised and ready against the Packers next week.
The other thing, though, was the quick thing about the Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs had he posted something to like an Instagram story or something, and in the background are the Lions play calls.
Oh, no.
Which is not good. Dan Campbell's going to be biting at his kneecaps for that one.
Yeah, that is not good at all. Wow.
No, sir.
How many play calls were there in the background? Like what is this?
13 or 14.
Jesus, how do you fit that many into one image? That's crazy.
It was a big white. He's like there's like a big whiteboard, and it's like they're all written out, so like long format. So they have the name of the play call, I think, is what it is. And because most teams know the format of, well, I would hope all teams would know how to read what a play is. So, that's no bueno.
That is not good at all. Jeez.
Yeah. I should probably be fine overall, but I'm just saying, maybe it was the Thanksgiving day vibes that the Lions just have to play it close on Thanksgiving. I mean, they have to play it close.
I mean, yeah, they've got to. It's Thanksgiving.
Not everybody did. I think that was the closest game of the early slate anyway.
Well, I mean, the Giants only lost by a touchdown. Like I said,
You don't mean the game was close.
it totally does. I mean, Turpin had that sick run back. That was fun. Your guy CeeDee Lamb kind of laid an egg, which was tough. Thank you. Every week, I'm thankful for that CD Bijan trade, man.
Okay, well, better hope he doesn't lay. What if he lays a goose egg this week? What if he lays like 2 points?
I mean, that would suck.
Star-studded Charger defense, you know what I mean?
I just have a feeling Bijan's gonna have a massive day. He is gonna ball out, man.
We'll get there when we get there.
We will get there when we get there. First, we got the Giants in Dallas. Man, the Giants would have won this one if Tommy DeVito was playing. I stand on that.
They would not have.
They had to play
right.
Drew Lock.
They wouldn't have.
Phil,
Okay.
what did you think of this one?
Yeah, this game, Giants, terrible. I mean, if you go into a game against another team that's bad and their best player on offense plays really poorly, the expectation is that you're supposed to kind of win that game, and you didn't. And you didn't really even come close. I know what the scoreboard said. It was like 27-20. That was not real. Didn't happen. Not real. That was embarrassing.
Not
was.
real.
No, it was not that close. Okay, this Giants offense is so bad. Like, you had Tyrone Tracy fumbling the ball. You had the pick six by Marvin Overshone, which was a crazy play.
That was a wild
They
one.
should just be. You know what this has feelings of? A few years ago, Jets went out and they had the number one pick lined up, and they're like, man, we're gonna get the number one pick. It's gonna be great. And they didn't because they won 2 meaningless games. And Jaguars got the number one pick, and they got Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
This feels like that. This feels like the Giants are gonna try to tank for Cam Ward, and they're not gonna be able to do it because they're gonna win some meaningless game, and some other team's gonna leapfrog them and take Cam Ward. That's what's gonna happen.
Man.
Let's be
I don't
honest.
know. I mean, it looks like they're really trying to win. Like, they've been trying to win all year, and they haven't been able to do it.
They suck.
I don't think they're going to be able to leapfrog a team on accident. Like, they
No,
are
they
so bad.
They might win, dude. You never know. They'll play I don't know. They'll play some. Maybe the Eagles won't play their starters week 18, and they'll win that game for no reason.
Maybe. What are their upcoming games?
Let me double check. I mean, it's not good. New York sports. Woo!
I love 'em.
Everybody
New
loves
York Knicks.
You know, the
New
real-
York Knicks.
the real New York team. Yeah, it's like Saints. They could beat the Saints probably. Oh, they got the Ravens. That's funny.
Yeah, they're going to lose to everybody, man. They're going to go 2-15.
Colts. They could beat the Colts, man.
They
Colts
could,
are-
but they're not.
And then the Eagles, and they play their starters. That's
They're going to go 2-15. They are so bad. I would bet on that. If Tommy
know?
DeVito was playing, though, different story.
no. Tommy DeVito. No. Tommy DeVito was a whole can of trash against the Bucks.
Yeah, but
A
he had a
whole can of it.
insanity run if they just let him get his sea legs. Like, you
What
gotta.
do you mean sea legs? He got his sea legs. His sea legs are got. Now we know what he is. He's a third string quarterback.
No,
Move
because they
on.
didn't give him that second game, man. They didn't give him that second game.
He was hurt. You gonna put in DeVito hurt? He was
I
gonna
would.
play well.
I would.
Wow, irresponsible. Irresponsible. Speaking of backup quarterbacks that suck, where's Trey Lance, man? Why not play him instead of Cooper Rush? Is he that bad?
Was he really that bad? What were Rush's stats? I remember he didn't look that great at all. I mean, he couldn't get the ball to CeeDee.
If he doesn't look great, then that's probably a bad sign.
I mean, you're 5-7. I don't think it's time to experiment. I mean, you could, but like if
You
you're
you think
Dallas,
this team is going playoffs?
I mean, I'm thinking what the front office and the coaches are trying to do, and I don't think it's tank time yet. Like, I think you're keeping Cooper Rush there because you don't want to experiment yet. If say you were 4-8, you drop the game to the Giants. Yeah, run with Trey Lance next week. But I mean, you still are technically in that playoff hunt because the Cowboys, it's so valuable to them to get that last playoff spot and lose. I think they're gonna stick with Cooper Rush. That's what I think.
I wouldn't personally.
I mean, you could run with Trey Lance, but I think that might be the thing to do if you're looking at the long run more than just this season.
Like, we're gonna
But-
get into this playoff picture. We're gonna look at the NFC, and I think half the NFC teams beat Dallas right now. So
Oh, they
like,
probably do.
so then why bother? Just start Trey Lance. I mean, Cooper Rush is clearly a backup. You might as well see if you have something in Trey Lance at the very least for like draft. Because like, if somebody said, "I'm gonna trade for Trey Lance right now," you're not getting any more than like a 7th round pick 7 years from now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So see if he has legitimate value.
Yeah.
If he
for
doesn't,
real.
but I wouldn't. I know 5-7's like you're not supposed to tank there. Why? Why bother? Your starting quarterback's not there. You made no improvements in free agency, which means you're just going to get smacked around even more when the rest of the season comes up. And when you look at something like the Cowboys' schedule, bruh,
Yeah.
Bro, you get to play Philadelphia again with not even like. Wait, did they? Yeah, like you already played Philly. They played Philly. Why don't I remember that game? Yeah, they played Philly, got smacked. That's why I don't remember it, because they got smacked. You won one game at home this year, and it's against the New York Giants. You get to try to stop Joe Burrow next week. I guess you get, what, Carolina, and then great. You close out with Tampa, Philly, and Washington. No. That's not a 5-game stretch where I'm thinking that team makes the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and also, yeah, now that you mention it, Cooper Rush just is who he is at this point. Like what you see is what you get with Cooper Rush. Yeah, it probably couldn't hurt to try an experiment with Trey Lance, but I just know that the Cowboys aren't going to do that because they think that they're so good they don't even need to make moves in the offseason.
I still can't believe that they were like I think a couple weeks ago they're like, yeah, we're a good team, and I'm like, okay, you beat. I guess you beat Washington, but you almost found a way to lose that one.
They should have lost that one,
and then you beat the Giants. Like
they didn't lose to Washington; they lost to Austin Seibert, bro.
Austin Seibert was an inside man.
He really was. He was paid off by Mike McCarthy or Jerry Jones. Also, I probably said this last week. I'll say it again. How is Mike McCarthy still the head coach for the Cowboys? That makes no sense to me.
If they had lost against Washington, he wouldn't be. But because they won, he is.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. If they had found a way to lose that game to Washington, then that would have been the difference.
Crazy. All right, next up.
Crazy stuff.
Miami and Green Bay. Green Bay ended up winning this one. The headline of this one for me is freaking Jonnu Smith still managed to go off against that Green Bay defense. Had him on my bench, but it is what it is.
I thought the headline would be Miami still doesn't know how to play in cold weather.
Oh, well, yeah, actually. Tua's now 0-8 in games, below 40 degrees?
Yeah. And that's weather my dad would say isn't even cold. So my dad would say, "Oh, what are you talking about? It's not cold." And then the Dolphins would be like, "Mr. White, it's freezing." Like, come on, dude. I mean, I get that you're in sunny Florida, but like you play in the AFC East, man. You got to go to Buffalo and play in cold weather at some point, right? This team, I know we said like they could make a playoff push. That was all under the impression that Miami would not look like, like a stuffed up like 10-year-old with their nose running with like liquid
teeth chattering.
Yeah, like they look they're like face turned blue. They have the icicle stretched out under the nose. Like that's what they look like every time. I'm like, and to his credit, he didn't play poorly this game, but they had so many miscues. Like they had an early muffed punt. Like Green Bay went 3 and out, and I'm like, wait, is Miami gonna have a chance? And then they muffed the punt, and then I said, oh no, they don't.
Yeah.
And I mean, those mental mistakes, those miscues really hurt them in this game. They were down, I think, 24-3 at one point in this game, and you put yourself in a hole. You just can't climb back out of it, especially when you still have 2 of the top receivers in this league that are significantly underperforming. Listen, I like Jonnu Smith. Maybe Arthur Smith was onto something in Atlanta because he's balling. But when your second leading receiver is Jonnu Smith and you have guys like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, where's that happen? How does that happen?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Do you know who leads the Dolphins in receiving touchdowns? Touchdowns you catch. Devon Achane.
Whoa.
Devon Achane, your running back, leads the team in receiving touchdowns. Like, where is Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, dude?
Yeah, that is ridiculous. I don't know what's going on in Miami. This game was never even a contest.
It was.
It was very disappointing. I ended up watching college basketball, Mississippi State, instead of this one after about the third quarter.
Who'd they play again?
They played UNLV. They beat them by 22.
Who'd they play after that?
And then the following night, they lost to Butler by 8.
Who did they play again?
Butler shot 11 for 18 from 3, which is ridiculous. But that's for we'll save that for the podcast because I've got to get those bars off. Because Mississippi State is really good this year, but Had to lose. We're kind of like the Steelers. Well,
Yeah, sure. I don't know. We beat good teams. We lose to bad teams. You seem like the opposite. You beat a
No,
bad
we beat good teams and lose to bad teams.
Thought Butler was ranked.
We were ranked. Butler was not. We were 23 in the country, and
Oh yeah, ew. How do you lose to Butler? Ew.
because we were playing great defense. Butler was hitting contested threes all night, and we blew about 6 fast break layups. We left about 12 points off turnovers.
Fast
off the
break,
board.
more like fast brick layup.
Dude, for real, fast bricks. Like, it was ridiculous.
Also, one side note before we go to Chiefs Raiders, Jordan Love, man, hasn't turned it over the last 2 weeks. For a guy that has turned it over every game all season, he's picking the perfect time, spicing up his game to be cleaning it up. That's big for Green Bay, as they're going to be looking to make a playoff push, and they've clinched a winning record. They're 9-3.
True.
Winning record clinched.
9-3 for the Packers. Very impressive. Dude, Packers Lions next week is going to be a banger.
Hopefully it's better than the last time they played, because Detroit just kind of mollywopped them the last time. Ain't gonna lie.
They did. Jordan Love, I feel like no interceptions for 2 weeks for Jordan Love. You know what that means? He's due for an interception. I think that Lions defense is going to be living in his head rent-free.
Yeah, maybe.
That remains to be seen. Chiefs, Raiders. Patrick Mahomes used his freaking dark magic again. Ridiculous.
Raiders become the second team eliminated from playoff contention. First being the New York Giants, we already discussed. This is Raiders missing 3 field goals definitely didn't help.
What's this Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez legacy drive?
Really?
No, Aiden O'Connell. It's AOC.
Dude, he's AOC, dude. He's AOC.
Dude,
Congress. What's the?
get you a girl that can do both.
Be a quarterback and run, do politics.
But yeah, dude, poor Raiders, man. Oh my God, that freaking play with the so-called false start, and then they change it to a legal shift when the ref was signaling false start, which means the play should be dead. Like,
that's what you would think, right? That's what you would think, right? I mean, that's what you would think, right?
Man, with so many games that happened before Sunday this week, I kind of wish that I ended up pulling some footage from the big games, because like I feel like there were some players on the Raiders side during that play that they thought the play was dead, so they didn't jump on the ball. But of course, because if you're on defense, you're just gonna go and grab that ball. Like,
I don't think they would have jumped on the ball. I think it's more of like that the penalty was called incorrectly. Like that was supposed to be a false start, and the Raiders would have gotten another chance on 3rd down. I don't think that.
Yeah, that's the whole scenario. Like because they thought the play was called dead, they did not. They thought the play was dead. They aren't going to jump on it like that's a live ball, like the Chiefs did on defense.
Aiden tried to jump on the ball.
Well, good for them. They should have gotten the ball back so they could kick a field goal.
They definitely should have, but they also, probably. To be fair, yeah, penalty was wrong, but they also shouldn't have snapped the ball like that. Tough stuff, man. Dude, you know what's funny though? I was watching a video of one guy watching this game who is friends with Aiden O'Connell in high school, and he was like, "Oh man, this is Aiden's legacy drive," and then seeing that's got to be breaking. It's got to be tough.
That had to be really sad. That was sad for me to see. And
I don't even know the guy.
Exactly, I don't even know the guy. Oh, and that game, that end of the game in this one, it's really like those deep fake memes you see where it's like two games that don't, like a game that doesn't even involve the Chiefs, and like, it's like Josh Allen like points and then there's a flag thrown and Chris Collinsworth is like, "Oh God, you just disrespected Lord Mahomey," and then the refs are like,
it's just him doing this, like just. No flag! No flag! No flag!
And then the refs like get together, and then the refs like, "Lord Mahomes has demanded that number 17 on the Bills will be publicly executed." And then Chris Collinsworth is like, "Now this is why you don't mess with Lord Mahomes." Like, that's what this game felt like, man. Redonk.
well,
Worst 11-1 team
dude.
ever. I hope they have I hope they lose in the divisional round.
Do you know what their stats, their numbers? So you remember that there's a team a few years ago, the Steelers, where they were like 10 they were something like 10-0, similar like 11-1, and they like got trounced by Cleveland in the playoffs. And dude, the Chiefs' stats are worse than that. Like this feels so. But the thing is, like they won back-to-back Super Bowls, so it's so hard to be like, count them out. They suck.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose, and then they're gonna like what? Do it again? Like man.
This team barely lost to the Panthers, or barely beat the Panthers, 30-27. Twice now, barely beat the Raiders. In that Bills-Chiefs game, it was smooth sailing for the Bills.
Yeah, they had the control.
I'm gonna be watching those Chiefs playoff games like a hawk. Is the
Like a what? Like a what, Tef?
Like a
what?
hawk.
You're gonna watch them like a what? Okay, just checking.
Are you brain rotting right now?
Who, me? No, I just didn't hear you. I didn't hear you the first time.
Oh, okay. Is the next
Yeah.
slide the playoff picture here?
We got the standings. We got all the standings in the AFC. Nothing's changed. Literally, I was making these. I'm like, dang, nothing really changes except each week, except for the NFC West. And that's about it.
Yeah, I mean that AFC North is getting pretty tight, man.
It is. We're fine. Everything is fine. It's
Big
like
games tonight, man.
some big games.
Steelers got the Bengals, Ravens got the Eagles in the Battle of the Birds.
Yeah, the Battle of the Birds.
the other
which happens
ones-
a lot.
The other ones seem pretty much decided though after the Ravens beat the Chargers. And I mean the Colts are cheeks. I don't know how they're 5-7. And then NFC, the North is kind of tightening up. That NFC North race is looking crazy. Lions are playing the Packers next week. That's going to be an exciting one. And also that NFC South looks pretty wild. I mean, Bucks are just a game back.
Panthers could still do it, man. Panthers could still do it. The 3-8. Watch them rip 6 in a row.
Man, I would love to see it. Yeah, and also, the NFC division races are pretty close. Who's Washington playing today?
Tennessee.
Oh, okay, yeah. As long as they don't pull a Houston Texans, I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Pardon my French.
Yeah, watch it,
Family
dude.
show, family show.
Watch your language. Watch.
Now, the big kahuna, what I love to look at, this playoff picture. Ravens, Texans in the first round. Okay, so as much as, like the Texans a year ago, I would be like, let's go Texans. But man, I've lost respect for them. They are a mid team.
Yeah,
I mean, they
you
lost
lost
to the Titans a week ago, and you lost to the Jets.
Yeah, losing to the Jets is pretty wild. I don't know how a team does that.
How you gonna lose to Will Levis, bro? Then I feel like every week it's Steelers, Chargers. It would be, I want to see the Bills go all the way. It'd be kind of hilarious to see Bo Nix beat the Bills.
You know what I want to see?
What do you want to see?
I want to see a Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, former Jets quarterback battle. The revival of Geno Smith and Sam Darnold getting away from the Jets, leading their respective teams to the playoffs.
So you want to see the Seahawks fall to the 4 and play the Vikings in that 4-5 matchup?
Dude, I think that'd be awesome, dude. Either Geno Smith or Sam Darnold gets a playoff win.
That would be sick. I like that a lot because the idea of a Falcons-Vikings matchup, that just seems kind of predictable in what would happen there.
Right.
I also...
Smith,
Geno
seeing
against
the
Sammy.
former Jets quarterbacks leading their teams to the playoffs.
I'd like to think of it. I like to call them more unsung heroes, late bloomers. Than
Wait until
just the
Zach
former
Wilson
Jets,
does it
more than just
2
two guys that
years.
used to play for the Jets. We don't need to point that out.
Here comes Zach Wilson in 2 years, man. He's gonna lead a team to the playoffs. It's gonna be awesome to see.
And I mean, if this playoff picture holds, Don't sleep on Jaden Daniels squaring off against Saquon, man. Philip White, honk shoeing. I'm telling you, man. I feel like Jaden Daniels rips off a playoff win. He's going
Exposed.
to.
He's been exposed, man.
Yeah, he played a couple bad games. It's gonna be fine. He'll come back and bloom. Watch.
I don't know. I don't know.
He
Maybe I'm
totally
maybe I'm a
will.
hater. Maybe
He's
I'm being
going
legit.
to. He will.
I don't know.
No teams on bye week this week. Can you believe it? Oh my God. Nobody got to celebrate Thanksgiving with their families. Roger Goodell said,
What
get
do
to
you
work.
mean? What do you mean? Only 3? Everyone, no, they still celebrated Thanksgiving with their families. What do you mean, cut?
They didn't get the week off, man. Nobody got a bye week this week.
Whatever, dude. Whatever, dude.
All right, first game of the day. I'm pretty excited about this one. Arizona versus
Vikings,
Minnesota.
Cardinals.
I mean,
Yeah, dude.
If you've been watching, you know I got a soft spot for these Arizona Cardinals, man. Trey McBride, James Conner, James aging like a fine bourbon, Conner. Kyler Murray throw for almost 300 yards and only get 9 fantasy points.
Yeah,
James Conner.
sick, dude. Love it.
Yeah,
Love it, dude.
I know you love
Love
that
it.
one, Phil.
Love it.
James Conner just inked a new contract, 2 years, $12 million. I'd be pretty happy with that. Daniel Jones signed with the Vikings the other day, so maybe they could have maybe the Vikings could have 2 quarterbacks that were previously not good that turn out to be great. That would be insane.
What miracles when you get out in New York, you know? Oh, I was wrong. It's 19. I put the wrong number. My bad.
19 million. Dang.
I gotta say, that sounded cheap. I was like, wait a second. 6 mil? That's crazy.
That is
in
wild.
this
6 mil,
economy?
6 mil would have been so cheap.
In this economy? Nah. You gotta pay a little for your backs, dude.
But yeah, this is gonna be a fun game, man. Minnesota. We
Cardinals
know about Minnesota.
Marvin Harrison.
What'd you say?
How about the Cardinals use Marvin Harrison for like anything other than being average?
I mean,
Literally, best wide receiver on the team. Best wide receiver on the team. They don't use him.
if there's any game that'll happen, it's this one. Because you said that. I mean, the Vikings have been slowing down tight ends all year. Last week, McBride was targeted 13 times and caught it 12 times. He was just balling.
Ballin'.
Balling in the mix. I'm a pimp. You a simp. That's
Dude,
all
I
I'm
mean-
saying of it. Yeah, Trey McBride balling out, but I don't know how good he'll do today.
I think when we're looking at this Cardinals are gonna have to actually throw the ball because the Vikings are pretty good against the run. Opponents have only averaged like 58 yards rushing a game the last 4 games against the Vikings. Vikings defense has got some strong run stuff and material. And when you look at Arizona, they're one of the better running teams. So it's like unstoppable force meets a movable object. But of course, you could just throw the ball to like Marvin Harrison, say, like, you know, like you were supposed to do the start of the year. And
They did it for the
you know,
first 2 weeks, and it worked great for them.
yeah, and then they're like, you know what? We don't like using talent. Okay? We only like using guys like Michael Wilson. And you know what? We're going to bring back Andy Isabella. And we're going to bring back some average wide receivers. That's what we're going to be. We're going to be the Cardinals. Okay? We're going to go bring Julio Jones out of retirement. Just come sign him. He'll play, even though he's old and can't play anymore. We'll bring him to the Cardinals.
Love it.
I don't. No, I don't. Don't do that. Don't give old man Julio 14 targets a game. Don't do it. You know what's actually also cool is that James Conner is tied with Derrick Henry for the most missed tackles in the league.
Wow. Go
Or next chance.
James.
Go James, exactly, dude. He's a underrated bruising back.
Despite that, despite the fact that, like what you were talking about with the Vikings rush defense, man, I feel like James Conner is going to have a day coming off the contract extension, man. I feel like in that game after you sign the extension, players ball out. They're feeling good.
I mean, yeah, but they're gonna have to. I mean, they're still a very good rushing team. But they didn't man, they went into Seattle, and I watched them, and I was like, man, how you gonna do this, man? How you gonna come off a bye and look like this?
True. That was kind of pitiful by them.
Felt very weird. Felt very, I don't know. I feel like the best coaches, they come off buys, they get the team ready. I don't know. Is Jonathan Gannon a great coach? Probably not. He's probably just okay. But we gon' see. We gon' find out. Who
That's
wins
why
this.
you bounce back against a great team like the 9-2 Minnesota Vikings.
You would think, but we'll get there.
We shall see.
We'll see. We'll see who picks there.
All right, next up, we got the Chargers and the Falcons. Another competitive game, man. Falcons coming off a loss, 23-30 against the Ravens. Atlanta is off a bye week. Last time out, they were coming off an even uglier loss, 38-6 in Denver against the Broncos. I mean, the Falcons are going to be looking to redeem themselves, man. It's only up from the 38-6 loss against the boa constrictor Knicks.
Yeah, the Boeing jet.
Boeing 747 flying around in Denver.
It feels like a clip of audio. Boeing 747 flying around in Denver. Dude, this is Atlanta gets to come home after 2 back-to-back road losses. They get to come back home. They get to be rested. They got Bijan. They got Kyle Pitts. They got Mooney and London, who are both over 700 yards receiving this year. Chargers are going to be down a J.K. Dobbins. We're going to see how they'll have to adapt to that. And also, dude, the Jim Harbaugh mentality, watching Jim Harbaugh coach has got to be one of the, I think he is such a fun. It's one of the coolest things to see.
Yeah,
he's such a fun coach.
His passion is a visible thing. Like, this guy is always so locked in. His drip is also pretty good. He's wearing the like bright white jacket. It's always clean.
He's got some passion to him. When he works with his like players in the pregame, he was like catching passes, and he dropped one. He went, "Damn it!"
Yeah,
he was super upset, and I was like, "Dude, that's and they've got I was trying to find the clip. I don't remember because I didn't remember what it stood for, but they do like this or something like it's like this.
they do like a T.
Yeah, like a T kind of, but it stands for something. I don't remember what it was. And dang, that's inspiring. You know, that's a guy who rallies his guys.
Yeah, that's dope. And I remember when he was like, doing the pregame, throw around, and he couldn't catch the ball and he was throwing it with Herbert. He was like, "It's not your fault. I just can't catch."
It's not your fault. I just can't catch. There was one where it was a mic'd up clip, and he was saying, you just want to pretend like we're running a play, like because they were trying to throw him off sides. Like, yeah, just pretend, And I think they end up running a play and end up anyway. It was like pretend like we're drawing a pass, like, and they were on the sideline just pretending that they were drawing a pass, but they were gonna run it. Like, just look at me right now. Look at me. Pretend we're drawing a pass. Like, that's what they were pretending during the timeout. It was so funny.
Yeah, dude.
Jim Harbaugh's like a guy that locks in